Yo, what is up guys, Delboy here, aka Blue Collar Sports TV. Hopefully you guys are doing well. If you're new here, smash that like, hit subscribe, all of that good stuff. So Hamzah Sheeraz defeats Austin Ammo Williams by an 11th round stoppage to become the mandatory for Janibek Alimkhanuly's world title. Janibek, of course, is a unified champion at middleweight. I believe this fight was a WBO eliminator. Regardless, good fight in my opinion, but a fight in which Hamzah Sheeraz, for me, was always controlling. The taller, rangier man was picking the better shots from the outside and the mid-range, and ultimately he was landing the more eye-catching, more hurtful shots throughout this bout. Not just in terms of power shots, by the way, but also in regards to his jab. Ammo Williams going into this fight, we knew he had to be the aggressor. He's the shorter man. Body punching was one of his best attributes. And, he had to be the aggressor in this fight behind that southpaw style, that southpaw stance. But he never really got it going in this fight. He showed a lot of signs of defiance. He had moments. But you never really felt in this fight that he was going to turn the tide, in my opinion. After a few rounds, I felt Sheeraz was always in control. First round was a feel-out round, so to speak. Both guys going jab for jab. Sheeraz's jab more accurate. Sheeraz was the guy picking shots from the outside with his longer reach. The straight right hand against the southpaw. Not much landed in round one, but Sheeraz was clearly more active, clearly more dominant with his lead hand, and he clearly won the round. One thing I noticed about Ammo Williams in the first round, which was a mistake he did throughout this fight, was that being a southpaw, he was slipping to his inside rather than the outside. And when you're fighting an orthodox fighter, to get away from that jab, you have to be slipping on the outside. And Sheeraz throughout this fight was slipping into the jab, basically. So Sheeraz, when he threw that jab, couldn't really miss with it. And it was causing a lot of damage as this fight went on. Second round, Ammo Williams came out, actually made a decent adjustment, a decent tactical change in round two. He started to try to counter Hamzah Sheeraz's right hand with his own overhand left. And he was able to catch Hamzah Sheeraz with that shot a few times. Especially early on in the round, he landed a lovely overhand left that made Hamzah Sheeraz backpedal and slightly buzzed him, I think. A little dip in the legs. Sheeraz got through it though, never looked like he was getting knocked out, but he felt the shots. But Williams came out pretty well in round two. After round two, I felt Sheeraz really took control behind that jab. Ammo Williams, for me, I don't know why Ammo Williams was trying to box with Hamzah Sheeraz from the outside and even at mid-range. From the outside and mid-range, it was clear that Sheeraz was the better punch picker, especially with the straight shots, the jab, the straight right hand, and even at mid-range, that long kind of scything uppercut from Hamzah Sheeraz was catching Ammo Williams as he was trying to come in. Ammo Williams, being the shorter man, being the pressure guy, wasn't using anywhere near enough head movement, plus the fact that when he was slipping into the jab of Sheeraz. It wasn't looking good. And he was getting picked off throughout rounds 3, 4 and 5, I would say. Round 6. He was getting picked off and outboxed. After round 6, I felt Ammo had a couple of decent rounds where he started a couple of rounds really strong, where he came out really fast. Trying to collapse the pocket against Hamzah immediately at the start of the rounds. He would work the body, he would throw combos to the body. He would try to split the guards with uppercuts. One thing Sheeraz was doing well though, when he was getting crowded by Ammo Williams, he was protecting his head really well. But, Ammo was still able to get shots off to the body. I felt in the second half of this fight, Ammo was able to have a little more success than maybe he should have had against Hamzah Sheeraz, because Sheeraz's output after round 6 started to drop for a few rounds. He wasn't as active with the jab, and he allowed Williams to maybe steal a couple of rounds based on activity. You know, I was wondering whether Hamzah Sheeraz was starting to gas, to be honest with you. But, you know, maybe he was pacing himself. He was soaking up a lot of shots on the gloves. He wasn't really getting caught to the head all that much. So maybe it was a tactical thing for Hamzah Sheeraz, you know. One thing I will say, despite him not throwing as much in these rounds, he never looked uncomfortable, Hamzah Sheeraz. But regardless, he also won a couple of rounds based on his jab, based on his straight right hand, and also the right uppercut, by the way. He was throwing some lovely uppercuts in this fight that were connecting on Ammo as Ammo was trying to close the distance. At times, the right uppercut from Hamzah, while it was landing, it looked a little dangerous for him if Ammo could counter, but Ammo never really did. There was a couple of times when he countered with the overhand left, but Ammo wasn't able to take advantage of that because the uppercut leaves Hamzah rather open because of his tall, lanky posture. But Ammo wasn't able to take advantage. The fight plays out. Ammo Williams' eye is getting bust up with the jab. It's starting to swell. He's becoming more desperate. Round 10, he starts the round very aggressive. Tries to throw some flurries on Hamzah Sheeraz. Sheeraz tucks up as he does. Then he lands 2 really, really good right uppercuts on Ammo Williams. And that completely takes the play away from Ammo. He wasn't hurt, but I felt that was a big moment. Ammo tries to come back. He tries to counter with. He tries to exchange and counter with Hamzah Sheeraz. He actually caught Sheeraz with some good left hooks, but Hamzah Sheeraz then measures him with a 1-2, lovely shots by Sheeraz. Then he follows up with another right hand, straight right hand, and Ammo Williams is dropped just on the bell, just before the bell. Beats the count, but his mouth is bleeding, his eye is swelling, and he's being pieced up. Round 11 was where this fight ended. You know, Ammo Williams comes out. He tries to have a final stand, but his work was so desperate, so desperate. He came out, tried to rush Sheeraz, tries to spam the uppercuts through the guard. But Hamzah takes those shots on the guard and then counters, then lands a combination. Ammo Williams is hurt. He's staggering about, and the referee waves it off. I think you can argue this fight was stopped too early, personally. I think you can argue that. I don't think Ammo Williams was winning this fight, personally. I don't think he would get back into it. But I felt the stoppage was a bit too early. Regardless, decent performance by Hamzah Sheeraz. He got the job done. I felt in rounds 3, 4, 5, especially, he was looking really good. Behind that jab, behind the straight right, keeping the distance, half step back, nice guard. Doing the basics very well. I felt he let Ammo have a little bit more success than he should have done towards, the latter part of this fight. But regardless, he got the job done. He was always in control. And on to the next one. Do I think he's ready for Janibek based on what I saw? No, personally. I think he needs more seasoning. Janibek he's a very astute counterpuncher. That is one thing that Ammo Williams isn't. And the counterpunch opportunities were there for Ammo tonight, but he couldn't take them. He didn't have the ability to take them, whereas Janibek does. I still think Hamzah Sheeraz needs to have a few more development fights at a decent level. A couple more maybe, and then see what we have from there. But right now, based on what I saw in this fight, I would make Janibek a pretty big favourite over Hamzah Sheeraz. But he's a good fighter, Sheeraz. He's got ability, he's got size, he's got height, he's got reach. He's got a good jab when he uses it. I felt he was guilty at times in this fight, like I said, of giving away the distance too easily. But he's got decent fundamentals plus size, so he can definitely pose a lot of trouble in the middleweight division. But anyway, share your thoughts below. Being a guy Del Boy, peace.